Good morning, traders and investors around the world, and welcome to Thursday's edition of PremarketInfo.com, where we prepare you for the same store sales Thursday and the ECB cutting interest rates. Happy 5th of July to you, Dennis.
Happy 5th of July, Joel. Did you have a good day off?
Not too bad, not too bad. Did a little barbecuing, except for when the storms rolled in at night. It kind of messed up the fireworks and had to head for cover.
Yeah, there was some storms running through Detroit. We had multiple storms. We had a little power outage just for a few minutes here. I guess your power was out a little bit longer there, though. Today's show, though, short squeeze continues. Stocks continue to break out. We've got same-store sales Thursday, where your retailers all your major retailers reporting their same-store sales. As Joel said, the ECB decision on interest rates was a few minutes ago at 7:45. They cut the rate by a quarter. And at the end of the show here, we'll just discuss ex-dividend strategies, where Verizon and AT&T go ex-dividend tomorrow.
How much lower can they cut interest rates?
How much lower can they cut interest rates? I don't know, man. It's at 0.75%, so I guess they can go to zero. Or they can go negative. Maybe they're going to go negative. Who knows?
The old Japanese trick. But anyways, over on Tuesday, Dennis, you did get one up on me with the Apple trading 600 on the nose.
It did. It got to 600 on the button. Is trading above 600 right now, 601.21. So it looks like it's going to take out that 600 area. It's just been marching. We've had a 3-day march in here. I don't know. It's going to eventually slow down here. Where that goes, I think it could, eventually get back up here. They had the 606 high back on, actually, that's not even 606 high. That's a 606 close. 614.69 back on April the 26th. Is there anything lower than that, though? Is there some more resistance?
I saw April 27th high is 606.18 is what I have on the radar.
Yeah.
Looking at the pre-market activity, we have scraped up against 603 in the pre-market, hitting 602.98. Not a lot in there. I'd use that 602.98 as a reference point here if you're looking to exit any longs or try short. You really don't have much cover back up to that 606.18 area. That's your next resistance level. Apple was a little lackadaisical at the end of last week when you had the powerful rally in the S&Ps, and it looks like it's caught up the next 2 days. So getting situated, had earnings coming up, and let's see if it can hold that 600 today. I think if it takes that out, I don't know if I'd still want to be playing it from the long side.
It's tricky, too. Like, sometimes what these high-frequency traders do, they know they're going to trigger some stops trading above 600. Wouldn't surprise me if it traded up to 601, 602, and then they took it back below 600 just to shake anybody that's playing the breakout above 600 out, too. So, wouldn't surprise me if it chopped around for a day or two in this 600 area. I still think, long-term it's going to march here higher, but short-term it may pause for a day or two, but really hard to say. Retail sales, though, we've got a lot of stocks reporting retail sales, the same-store sales today. Costco was one they reported earlier on this morning. Not great. They were a little bit less than expected. The stock is trading down here in the pre-market at $92.80. So it closed at $94.42. So Costco pulling back just a bit here.
You know what I like about Costco?
What's that?
Is that I could go in there and get one of those big dollies and just shop and go around and just pile stuff high up on there. I go check out, I give them my debit card, and it's $249.86. Whereas I spend 45 minutes in the grocery store and it's $150. I mean, you just get so much for your buy. Yeah. I'm a Costco fan here.
You know what I like about Costco? I like their $1 hot dogs.
I knew
that's what I like. I like the $1 hot dogs. That is great.
You and every other senior citizen in the area.
That's it.
Anyways, looking at the pre-market, Costco got a pop here. A little bit, and now it's pulling back, just kind of consolidating. Nothing real major here to look at except a 94.26 low in the pre-market. We're trading around that, just around that area right now. Stock's been on a heck of a run, just like the market. You could definitely get a pullback in it, but for right now, it still looks like it's good to go to the
I
upside.
mean, you had a lot of consolidation here back in the low 90s, 90. You can see a bunch of lows in the 90, 39, 90, 50 area. You also had just a lot of trade in the whole 92 area. So we're at 92.80. I think you got some air down to 92. Then I think it will start thickening up. If it really went into sell-off mode, I can't see it getting below 90 today. So trading 92.80 right now, pulling back a bit. I bet you find buyers in this, into this pullback though.
Yeah, a little gap to fill between 93 and 93.43. Looks like we're back in that area. Like you said, the major support here is at the June 26th low of 89.91.
Couple other ones that we just want to highlight. Target here is getting beat up in the pre-market too. I think last same stores Thursdays, if I remember correctly, Target got beat up as well. Trading down here about $2 actually, 55.86 after closing at 57.78. So Target taking out all of its major support levels. You had like this whole triple bottom thing going on in the 57 area. It's taken that out way below that. So at 55.86, it is getting bid back up here though at 56.50 right now. So I think the 55.86 may have been a little bit of an overshoot. So 56 and a half. If it can open above that 57, then maybe that still holds as support. Opens below that, I'd say that's going to be resistance.
Yeah, looking at the pre-market activity here, you did get a. This is a big move for Target here.
Yeah, it
Right
was all
there,
right
yeah.
on the report though. There hasn't really been that many trades since the report, so some computer algorithm just looks like it slammed out a whole bunch of bids in the book on the second that they reported, and it hasn't traded here now for about 12, 14 minutes. So it wouldn't surprise me if this actually isn't an indicator. It's bid 56.50, offered at 57.30, so it does appear to be opening down, but I don't think this is going to open under 56.
What kind of other algorithm
You
would
got those
keep?
news algorithms. So basically, on the number, some those news reader high frequency algorithms will literally just send a huge sell order off of the information, and sometimes they overshoot a little bit. And I think this news algorithm did overshoot a little bit since it is bid 56.50, hasn't traded now actually for 15 minutes, but swept out a whole bunch of bids in the book right on the second that it reported.
Now, are you giving these computers just a little too much credit?
I'm not giving it any credit on this one. I think it hit the bids too low. So sometimes these high, you can say, oh, the high frequency traders are really, they're always making money. They don't though. There's a lot of high frequency programs out there that don't make money or that sometimes, definitely make mistakes. And I think this one probably read that it was a really bad report and maybe not as bad as the computer seems to have thought it was because it did
Yeah,
trade down significantly.
yeah. Obviously, they weren't looking at the June 22nd low of 55.81, just kind of sticking out there like a sore thumb. The next day, you had a low of 55.94. So I kind of do like that $56 area. Use that as a swing number. And like I said, this is a pretty big drop for Target here. I could see it kind of meandering his way back up and filling some of that gap left from the news.
Macy's reported here as well. Stock is trading down just a little bit, 33.10 right now, so only down about 20 cents. Interesting enough, you've got a couple of lows here, 32.70 back on June 28th, and then the day before that was 32.80. So that could give you some initial support if you do start to open under 33 bucks on Macy's. Chart doesn't look as great on this one though. This has been really trending down here and hasn't rallied with the broad market.
Yeah,
So kind of disturbing there a little bit. It gets you a little bit scary. If we go to the weeklies, it starts to really open up if you do take out that 32.70 low. So keep that in mind on Macy's.
yeah. Did they get the memo that the market is rallied here and everything's well in Europe? Looking at the charts, I mean, this thing is still bumping along the bottom
Yep.
here from the actual lows of the move. 32.70 was the low on June 28th, and the 27th was 32.70 and 32.80 are two lows there. Getting a little bump up in the pre-market. Nothing major though, but boy, oh boy, if this thing takes out that level, could be heading for the nice even number 32.
Stock's
Uh,
not participating, that's for sure.
yeah, what's going on? This is where's the rally in M here? 33.40's high has been in the pre-market, so we'll look at that. That coincides a little bit. Well, you got another 40 cents after that to 33.85 to get into yesterday's high.
Yeah, I think just with a trend like this, when the stock's not participating and the market's rallying overall, it's often a sign that there may be some trouble there when the relative strength is this poor. So I'm not a big fan of owning this from the long side, but playing it through the short way might be a better play if it starts to take out those lows. A couple others reporting here. TJX reporting as well. Stock was initially trading higher off the report, trade up to 43.58. Is pulling back a bit now. Actually, well, no, it's actually still trading up 43.35. There was just one trade that went off at 42.10 there, so maybe that guy whoever just sold a couple of minutes ago, I guess sold too low. But it is trading up 85 cents, but really wide spread on this, 42.30 to 43.50, as you can see there. So hard to say if this is going to open up or down.
Yeah, this stock's really not too far away from the highs that it made back in June, 43.69. So we'll keep an eye on that level, 43.69, 43.75,
Yep,
43.78.
yep.
Those are the three highs that you had in June 19th, 20th, and 21st. So we'll keep an eye on those levels. As far as coming back on the downside, looking at the pre-market activity, you have a low of 42.14, and that coincides with the lows that you've had over the last couple trading days, 42.01 and 42.14. Long-term players in this stock, if in fact this 42 level cracks, you could get a quick visit right back down to 41.
Just analyzing the tape on this one a little bit further, there was that one trade there you can see there, 42.10, after the stock was trading up for 42.40, 42.50. It's trading up 43.10, but there was real no bid, so I wouldn't be surprised here if somebody accidentally hit this thing at 42.10 thinking it was 43.10 because it had just traded 43.10 right before it. So see how it was trading 43.10 pretty actively, and then all of a sudden it trades down to the 42.50, 42.40, 42.10, just a few hundred shares is trading back up. So I think somebody like oopsie hit the wrong handle. And this is just another warning. If you guys are trading in the pre-market, if anybody does trade in the pre-market, make sure you look at the handle because there is high frequency programs that will literally try to make you hit the wrong handle. If the stock's trading at 43.10, they'll bid 42.10, hoping that you think it's 43.10, and then all of a sudden boom, you hit it at 42.10. You just hit it $1 down, and they're trying to make a quick buck off you. So you've got to be really careful. Check your handles in the pre-market. It's a dirty program that does that. That wants to, but they play all these games, and that's another dirty one too. I mean, not all high frequency traders are bad. There's just a few bad eggs that do these games, and the games are dirty. And we're trying to bid something, and trying to fool somebody into hitting it $1 down. And I'm not saying this is what happened here, but this is possibly what might have happened. So.
Okay, what else we got moving in there? Anything else in the retail side?
Gap, GPS reported. They're all moving. So if you're trading any retailers, we don't have time to highlight them all here today. But GPS is one that often does move. Although today it's not moving at all yet. But I know it just reported here. But this is one. Expect some volatility in this after it opens because GPS often does move pretty good on its same store sales. I've seen it move over a couple bucks before. It looks like this one maybe is expected because it hasn't even traded today here yet. But looking at the chart here, you got some significant 1, 2, 3, 4 highs here in the mid 27s here. I'm just looking 27.72, 27.80. Then yesterday's high, Tuesday's high, 27.90. So I think that area might give you some initial resistance. If it starts to take out the 28 level, then maybe it starts to move higher. But off the hop, maybe this thing can give you some resistance in the 27.90 area.
Yep, been pretty quiet here in the pre-market. Must be a big seller at 28 here. Perhaps high frequency traders stepping ahead of that. Coming back on the downside here. Yesterday's low at 27.50, not too far away from that. Really no support between the 27.50 level and 27. So buyer beware under 27.50.
Wanted to highlight a couple of stocks, Verizon and AT&T here. These stocks are going ex-dividend tomorrow, and what that means for the newer traders out there, when a stock goes ex-dividend, that's the date that you're not entitled to the dividend. So today is the last day that you will be entitled to the dividend. So any trader that takes this stock home at the end of today will receive the dividend. The dividend on Verizon is 50 cents. The dividend on AT&T is 44 cents. Tomorrow morning, there'll be ex-dividend, so the traders that are buying it tomorrow morning will not receive the dividend. So what you often see happen is these stocks will run up towards their ex-dividend date, and then on the ex-dividend date, then they sometimes pull back as traders try to get out of the position because it's a whole dividend capture strategy where traders will come up, buy the stock, capture the dividend, and then try to work the trade out and try to keep the dividend and not lose too much on the stock. And as you can see, both AT&T and Verizon are right near their 52-week highs, so they have run up into this ex-dividend number. I don't know if today if they'll do the same thing or not, but often they do. So you may see some more volatility. You might see a continued run up, although they've already had a little bit of a run up. So it's hard to say how much these are going to run up, but keep that in mind when you're trading these stocks here. What's your technical on these?
Well, I'm just going to throw a little bit of a twist into this, and I don't know if this is an angle we discussed before with the ex-dividend date, but I mean, let's just use AT&T an example. Let's say we're buying it in anticipation of the dividend and buying it for that reason, and then you just get this amazing run here in the stock. The quick pop here since $35. You may see some people that are going to say, "Hey, I'm just going to take my profit in this stock."
Yeah.
Right? Do you think that happens at all where they say, hey, I have such a profit in this stock, it's going ex dividend tomorrow for 44 cents, and it could just could go open up, down 44 cents and end up down 80 cents on the day, and then you're stuck with the stock. So with that double top there at 36.20, 36.21, also the high from June of 2008 up there at 36.34, I just think you're going to see a selling pressure in the stock today. And if it does break above 36.20, I wouldn't get too excited. 36.34 is right there. Same thing with Verizon. I don't think this is going to be a lot of people dipping their toe in the water to get long today after this kind of run up. I mean, if they were playing it from the long side for the last couple of weeks, they're obviously in good shape. But
Yeah.
they have to decide whether or not it's worth holding the stock to get that juicy dividend.
I mean, both stocks have about a buck here in the last 3 days. They've run out up about a buck, and obviously a lot of that's to do with the broad market, but some of it is to do with the dividend as well. I think these stocks would have run up regardless. These almost don't even trade with the broad market sometimes because they've been really strong here, even though the market was selling off a few weeks ago. So you got to keep in mind that there is a lot of traders that are sitting on profits that were probably playing this dividend capture strategy a couple of days ago, and if they start to take profits early, then you might see a little bit of a sell-off here. If there's still more traders to come in, then the stock could continue to rally. So it's hard to say. But you definitely have some traders that are long this just for the dividend right now, so that will equal selling pressure, if not today, probably on Friday after it goes ex-dividend.
Okay, anything else to close up the show today?
We just want to keep an eye on this market overall here. We are bouncing around a little bit. We do have jobless claims number, which is coming out actually in a few seconds here. So the market has had lots of overall news here today. You had the ECB decision on interest rates, which was they dropped it by 0.25%, obviously. You've had you have jobless claims in a few months. You've had ADP, so you've had lots of economic information. The futures have been bouncing around kind of like a yo-yo here. We've been as low as 1362. We've been as high as 1375. We'll see in a few seconds if we bounce around any more. The euro is getting beat up here too. It's down over a cent here again today, so keep that in mind if you are trading the stocks. But looks like the jobless claims is a non-event. We're only up $2 here, and the number just came out.
Okay, I just keep an eye out. The Globex high is 1375. That coincides with the intraday high back on May 4th at 1374. So that is a very, very important level. If in fact we can break above there, things are pretty wide open until the 1380 handle. Coming back on the downside, I'm going to keep an eye on Tuesday's high, which is 1369.50, as well as the close 1368 even. Minor support there at 1362, which is the Globex low. We do have unenjoyment tomorrow, so people may be squaring positions ahead of that. We'll be back tomorrow to preview that number, and we hope you have a good trading day.